just the THX logo.
Are we here?
How's everyone doing? Hey,
What's
what's up, everybody?
Sam, your show starting. Sam is like, okay, cool. Here we go, everybody. All right, cool. Yeah. And then,
That's everybody.
I've got to turn it on.
Hey,
I've got to turn it on.
How's it going? Hello. Yeah.
what the fuck are we looking at here? What is this thing?
Oh, I forgot you hate animals. This is Roy Von Bacon.
Roy Von Bacon.
Yeah, he's our
Roy Von
bearded
Bacon.
dragon.
He's a great dragon. He's the best dragon. He's the greatest dragon that's ever lived.
What is that?
That's his Harvey Feinstein.
It's my Trump impression.
Sam,
Who's
is there a
saying that?
filter on, or is that?
I don't
are you
even
doing that with your
understand.
throat?
What? I'm doing that. I'm the master impressionist.
You know,
I'm a master impressionist.
I was worried that having a lizard on for a little bit would be too gimmicky, but I guess I just didn't.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I left the lunch early to come here and have Sam fuck around with a fucking, auto-tune filter and look at a lizard. This is
Yeah, but I'm gonna feed
Zach,
him.
you
It's gonna look
don't
cool.
like this auto-tune filter.
Have you used
I
it
like
before,
it.
Sam? That's
like
fine.
it.
I like it. I was just really confused for a moment there. I don't know what.
I'm just upset I didn't bring a toy to the show.
Thank you, Darren.
What was that one?
It was narrator.
Narrator?
Narrator.
Yeah, it was just
The
like
Trump
a
one
narrator
doesn't even sound like
voice.
Trump. It's weird.
You want to eat it?
Wait.
No? You gonna eat it? Oh shit! I just dropped a roach under my keyboard. Oh fuck! See, I
Is
knew
this
that-
one?
If you had roaches in your house and you just got a lizard and let it just go free, would it take care of the roach problem?
Yeah, I think eventually it would. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I'm looking at the stream, which is delayed.
But that lizard's been fed dead roaches its whole life.
No. He eats live ones.
can't-
He won't eat, dude. He won't eat dead stuff.
So you
Like-
dropped a live roach somewhere in your living
Yeah,
room.
I got it though.
Oh.
He's not really interested right now. That's okay. I'll feed him later.
No, he
Now
opened
he's
his
trying to
mouth
get
a little
away.
bit.
All right, I'll have to put him back soon.
Think what bearded dragon sounds like a vagina.
What was
Is
that
that-
supposed to be? Who's that supposed to be?
Oh, this one's Joe Biden.
That's supposed to be Joe Biden?
Ooh, I don't know about that filter, buddy.
Yeah.
How about this one?
Who's
What's
that?
that supposed to be?
Barack.
What?
These are
Barack
terrible.
Obama.
These are
I
not
hope you didn't
good,
pay for
man.
these filters.
It was a present. It was a present from Nate.
Oh, hey Nate, you suck at presents, bro.
We weren't
Wait,
talking to you.
I-
by the way.
That's not
We weren't talking to you.
Oh, right, yeah.
Timmy, you look good.
Thanks, man. You do
I
too.
can do this. I can do this.
All right, Sam, you stop.
But see,
It's
I just
sexy
wanted to
though,
have him
right?
on until he does his head tilt because it's so fucking cute, just like when a dog does it. Come on, man. Anyways, but he's cool, man.
Sure. How
He's
old is he?
shedding. Let's see. We got him. 5 months. He's probably about 8, 9 months old. So he's way far from full grown. He still has to grow about another year still. So
Hmm.
he was like way smaller when we got him though. Margaret keeps like measurements and shit, and she like washes him, and he like likes her. He doesn't really enjoy me. Maybe because I do
You
shit like
fight?
this. No, not really. He'll lick your hand because that's how they smell. That's fucking cute, right? Come on. Yep. But they're really weird, man. It's an interesting pet to have because it's like you have to learn about it. But I want to go.
He just like bit down on your finger really
Just,
hard
like,
right
fucking
there.
pulled off my fingertip. Just like,
We would go viral.
dude, yeah. It's like
That would
This,
that
like-
would be fail army, right?
right. There's like there's these like this old sketch group. I think they're like having a midlife crisis now or something. But anyways, they're on Twitch, and this little fat guy, this lizard, like ate his hand. It was awesome. He's fucking chilled out though. You just wanted to be warm. You were not warm enough in the towel. All right. Anyways, so how's everybody doing? We don't have to talk about this. I'll just hold him. What's going on?
Good.
Good.
Squirrel723 says, Timmy, you're not fat.
but spelled fat, PHAT.
So it's an insult then, because
you're not
that stands
cool.
for
You are fat, but you're not cool. That's
well,
what
that stands for pretty hot and tempting. I think was the original.
You're not
definition.
pretty hot and tempting.
Well, then fuck that
You do
person.
look like you've lost some weight, though. Am I right about this?
Yes, thank you. Just back on
What's
heroin.
the secret? Is it roaches?
Heroin and roaches, yeah. Because when they're alive, it's like, and they're crawling around your stomach. It's kind of harder to. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway.
What is the secret?
Nothing, man. There's no secret to weight loss. You know what it is? It's keeping track of what you eat and trying to move around more. You know what I mean?
I guess that's what I'm really asking.
Yeah, that's what I do. Is I just count what I'm eating and pay attention to what I'm doing. I got to take.
Someone said Timmy's on Ozempic.
Oh,
what's that? Oh, that's that weird drug. It's like what
I think it's a diabetes drug.
Yeah, I got to take.
Is really the intended thing, but it's a miracle weight loss drug apparently.
I know a lot of people who have lost a fucking ton of weight on that.
Ooh, name names.
I'm not going to. Ozempic.
Yeah, it's crazy. And apparently there's like a shortage, so like people with diabetes can't get it because too many people are like
it's fucked up. It's like cutting the line at the for the vaccine, where
Ozempic is it's like bad, right? Or now they're saying like people are trying to take it that don't need it just because it helps with weight loss, right? Something like that.
But they are considering basically repurposing it and saying like, go ahead and take this for weight loss because it does help people like stop their cravings and
Well, see, and my main thing is eating at night, and I'm just getting that more under control. You know what's kind of funny is I have such an addictive personality, and so I've just got re-addicted to playing Skyrim. So like at night, that's what I'm doing. But I'm not fucking eating stacks, so who cares? You know what I mean? So,
how long are you playing at night? Like what time do you start?
A couple hours, maybe 2. I mean, normally it's after Margaret goes to bed, and I don't stay up that late anymore. So an hour, maybe 2,
What time
not every night. Huh?
What time do you go to sleep?
Normally 11, 11? Maybe earlier. Yeah. Trying to be healthy.
What kind of character are you in Skyrim? Are you like a brute or are you like a mage?
I'm a red guard. That's like the Middle Eastern kind of black people that they kind of go more towards swords. So I'm doing sword and shield because I never did that before. And it's on my daughter's Switch, which means you can take off the handles and actually, do the stuff once. Except the first time I tried that, she was sitting with me watching.
They have Skyrim on the Switch?
Yeah, dude. It was on sale. That's why I got it was like $12 or something. So it was probably the 4th time I bought that game. It's been out forever, had to replace a disc once 10 years ago. I don't know. Anyways, I'm sitting next to her and I want to try the motion controls. So I do it. And then I'm like, immediately like punched her in the stomach by accident. He's like, yeah, don't do that anymore. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I did that sitting down. Anyways.
Now whenever she does anything bad, you can be like, all right, you're on thin ice. I'm going to play Skyrim. And she knows what that means.
Gone are the days.
Better watch out.
It's no longer I fell down the stairs. Now it's like, oh, he loves me. He was just using motion controls.
Yeah.
What I did
what's the status of the next Skyrim game? Aren't they making another
Elder Scrolls 6? Well, I think 2025 or 6 at the latest is what, or earliest is what they've said now. But a trailer dropped. I don't know if it dropped this weekend or what, but I just saw it for the first time for an Indiana Jones game that some of the Bethesda people are involved in. And
I saw that.
Fucking cool. Did you think it looks cool, Darren?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I can see it not being cool.
Well, sure,
I think I can see both. So
we'll see. The idea of like first person and you're punching Nazis and solving puzzles, it looks fun, but yeah, it might suck. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
There was an Indiana Jones game that came out last year. It was called Dial of Destiny. Did you guys play that?
You had to go to the theater to see it, though, right?
Yeah, you had to go to the theater. It was mainly cutscenes, but it was definitely a video game.
And you had to sit there and figure out how they did the production of it, and it's like, it's like really puzzling.
It's definitely a video game.
We watched I watched Triple X for the first time in a long time, like the Vin Diesel movie. And there's a few scenes there where they digitally put his face over the dirt bike guy or whatever, I'm like, and then you watch Dial of Destiny, it's like, have we really? I don't feel like we've come very far. That was 22 years ago.
I had a really funny thing happen recently. Is Emily and I were super tired, and Wally woke up really early, and sometimes we're just like, all right, we're gonna like put on the TV in our room and just sit in bed with him. And he grabbed the remote, and we were both like kind of half awake. And at one point, I look up, and he doesn't know how to use the remote. He just hits buttons and stuff like that. He put on the movie Cats and was laughing hysterically at it, and like turning to our dog and being like, huh?
Right?
Huh?
You seeing this? You don't like cats?
No, your son has bad taste.
No, Zach, that's where you're wrong. That movie's hilarious.
I've never seen it. I've always wanted to.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I tried. I think I made it like 40
crazy.
Minutes. Yeah, it's astoundingly bad.
What's crazy is I was watching it and I was like, oh, the graphics on this are so, because there's just like their faces are kind of moving around.
That's
and I was
so
talking to
weird.
someone and they were like, oh no, they fixed that. It was worse when they released it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I think the funniest case of that was with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Because remember when the trailer came out and he had a weird face and like human teeth?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought that was the Grinch. That was Sonic.
No, it was Sonic. It was like
Sonic,
maybe I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And everybody's like, oh my God, that's so fucked up. They're like, fine, we'll redo it. And then they redid it and he looks exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like, why didn't you just do that? You had the technology, you rushed it, and you still made him look exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. Well, they were like, oh, what if he looked like real? We'll bring Sonic the Hedgehog to life. And everyone was like, oh.
Yeah, that's not what we...
Gross.
Who wants that?
What?
Why would you watch that?
I didn't know what a hedgehog was till I played Sonic the Hedgehog. So I don't know why they're trying to make it really look like a hedgehog.
Yeah. Well, anyways, see you guys later.
All right, cool. That was our show. Cool. Thanks. Zach, how you doing?
I'm good.
What's new?
What's new? Lots new, but I can't talk about any of it on screen. I'm sorry.
Your mustache is really doing well, man.
Have a mustache.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, that's new. Yeah.
I fucked mine up and had to shave it off.
Yeah.
I mean, South Dakota's probably generally okay with what it was going to have, but you know what?
That's new. Zach and I went to see a movie together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My brother was in town. Oh. We saw The Beekeeper.
Yeah.
Was that good?
It was so good.
It was never boring.
I tell you.
All right, Darren. The movie's called The Beekeeper. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I think I have, but I don't remember it at all.
It's Jason Statham. He plays like a beekeeper, a shadow government agent that's part of this thing called the Beekeepers.
And their job is to protect the hive, which is never really defined. Like, I guess the hive is
so
America
they're just like,
or humanity or something. It's the hive, okay?
It's like another it's another IMF. They just use bee terms.
And the weird part, though, is that like he actually also is a real beekeeper. Like, it's like
he's also a real beekeeper.
But okay, does every beekeeper in the government thing also have to actually keep real bees?
Funny.
That was weird.
It's like,
does he ever use the bees as like one of his weapons?
Not really. I think he throws a jar of honey in someone's face at one point, but he never stings anyone with bees.
No, but here's the thing.
Maybe part 2.
Here's the thing. How many times do you think they say like bee or beekeeper in this movie? Just like a guess.
100. I don't know.
500.
Probably 10 times as much. It's every scene. It's every scene.
Really funny is like. And it's like, it has nothing to do with bees ever. Like, the whole movie really doesn't have anything to do with bees. And there's this, like, at the end, like, the bad guy gets Jason Statham on his knees. And the bad guy, like, puts a gun to his head and he goes, to be or not to be? That is the question. And then Jason Statham goes, I think to be. And then he, like, fucks everyone up. And what's really funny is it's like, that was such a long way to go to just, like, riff on the word be. But I am dying to know if in the script, if they spelled it when Jason Statham said it, I think to be, if they use 2 E's or not.
I really hope they
who knows?
Because if they did, like, amazing and shame on them. And if they didn't, like, amazing and shame on them. It's just it's so fucking funny.
That's great. I do love the
Immediately
idea of them making like an assassin like also do bees. Like I know how to kill people. I can sneak in. I can hack computers. I can steal shit. But you got to keep bees. What?
Yeah, you have to
Put on the mask.
You can be a Navy SEAL, but you have to actually raise a seal. So I hope you like seals. And
at some point they find a guidebook of like how to keep bees, and it's like we've watched this movie for a while and seen him go through the process of extracting honey and all this stuff. I feel like he doesn't need that book anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I bought a ticket to see it tonight, and then see it last night, but then I'm like, I don't want to. I'm too tired. I did, so I changed it to credit. I'm going to go see. I take my brothers to. We're going to see Godzilla -0 tonight, but it's in black and white, which is fine with me. But do you guys think and it's not just South Dakota, but I feel like a lot of places do you think a movie like that there'll be a note put up somewhere just so you know it's in black and white, it's not broken. You know what I mean?
Well, how pissed will people be when they realize it's also not in English?
Oh, around here? They'll probably call the movie theater chain socialist.
Yeah.
You should start yelling when it's in black and white. Be like, turn the color on.
Also, turn the Japanese off.
Yeah,
turn the Japanese off.
Excuse me. Do you work here?
Excuse me. I did that once by accident. Well, not by accident, but I was wrong. I was in Rhode Island. We were watching that Candyman remake that came out a couple years ago. Has anybody seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so when it opens, the studio logos and stuff, and the credits, that's backwards. And me, just fucking, I'm dumb. I get up and I go let the guy know, one of the workers. I'm like, it's backwards. He's like, what movie are you watching? I'm like, Candyman. He's like, yeah, it's supposed to be like that. Candyman, mirrors. I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm so sorry. And I just watched the first Candyman the week before, it's like
What's also funny too is that he's supposed to be like that. Candyman mirrors. It could be your first. You could have no idea what Candyman is. You could be seeing it for the first time and be like, okay.
And I'm also used to South Dakota movie theaters where the person running the stuff doesn't they don't care or are paid enough to care or no, so I'm like, maybe
I don't think there's a way that they can put it in backwards and it shows the I don't think these days that's
maybe
a thing. I don't know, because it's all digital projectors mostly.
It definitely wasn't a film. I feel like there's a way to. I feel like humans are really good at fucking things up though, so there must be some way to do it. I don't know.
Maybe. Hey, I have a question. I watched Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Did Fatum not make the cut? Because I didn't see.
Cut out.
He got cut out. Okay.
Yeah.
4 hours. They still cut him out.
Yeah.
Or 3.5, whatever it is.
All right. I was looking for
Master and Killers of the Flower Moon. That's brutal.
I know.
Dude.
Yeah.
Sucks.
So Zach, did you see that he got name checked by Paul Giamatti?
I did.
Oh, really?
That's cool. What'd you think of that?
I was excited. Well, he wrote me a letter last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a real letter or an email?
Like an email, but like a long, thoughtful email. Okay. So I knew that he was that he liked the movie a lot, but I certainly didn't expect him to talk about it again.
That's great.
Crazy.
That ruled. It was
Have
awesome.
you met him?
I've never met him. No.
Wow.
I just thought it'd be funny if you get a handwritten letter from Dear Zach. This is Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, it's like scribbled and the handwriting is totally fucked and it's everything's spelled wrong and it's Giamatti totally wrong.
A little drawing of two stick figures holding hands, maybe we could be friends.
No, but I mean he's awesome. And did you guys see The Holdovers?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, no.
Oh, dude, he did such a good job.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
is always great though. I've never seen him not be great.
What? Who's always great?
Yeah. Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
I mean, he did do that Frankie Muniz movie.
Big Fat Liar?
Yeah, Big Boss or Big
Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar, yeah.
He's not the problem there,
I don't know. He just didn't bring it. I don't know.
Didn't he get painted blue? Sam, you should,
yeah,
you
he
should
got
have
painted blue.
appreciation for the fact that if you get painted blue, you're probably bringing it. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
So when you get painted blue, it's a big deal. But if Paul Giamatti gets painted blue, he's still fucking lazy. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
He had that Hollywood blue, though, you know?
Maybe he only had to do one day.
I haven't seen Big Fat Liar. I'm just riffing on. Someone said it's a masterpiece. Okay.
Somebody said
Right.
Zach is now a Calabasas 6. What does that mean? What's
I
a
have no
Calabasas 6?
Look at
There's
that.
already been a lot of stuff said in chat that I don't understand today. So I don't know.
Is that Calabasas 6? Is that like a
That must have something to do with like the Kardashians. I know they live in Calabasas.
No. Duffy3 says Trent Reznor also liked Barbarian. Huh. I guess
No way.
Him say that. That's
What?
cool. Did he say that somewhere? I mean,
Is that
they
real?
must have.
That
if
would,
they know.
that would blow my mind. I do know Kurt Hammett from Metallica posted about it recently.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's funny.
He's the guitarist, right? Yeah. He's like the best part.
That would be so cool if Trent Reznor was into it.
Yeah.
I've been going back and listening to Nine Inch Nails, and
I
good,
have
man.
too. Yeah.
They're good.
that he's talented. That guy, he's
Keep
talented.
your eye on him.
Didn't he isn't he
Going somewhere.
possibly gonna get the EGOT or whatever? Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony?
Does he have a
he
Tony?
was like I thought that he had I thought he did some sort of stage thing that they were thinking what if he gets a Tony? Like he could possibly, but he's like I don't know, and for some reason he's like possibly positioned to actually do that, which is very weird. You know, it's rare for anybody.
Who are the people who've gotten EGOTs?
There's like
How many?
4. There's not very many. I was just looking.
I would imagine there's not a lot.
Does Viola Davis have one?
Yes, I think she's one of them because I think she just completed it, right?
I think Bette Midler is one.
Martin.
Barbara?
Oh, okay,
Let's see.
19 people. Okay, so
Barbara?
19, that's a lot.
yeah, that is a lot more than I thought. But there was some other thing that Viola Davis is part of that's way more rare, and I forget what that is. Oh, the Triple Crown of Acting, which, well, that must just be that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I wonder
anyways.
if Trey and Matt do. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, that's possible. Did they maybe win an Oscar for the music in that South Park movie?
Like, yeah, I think they got Best Song in
Okay.
Blame Canada, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trey doesn't have an Oscar, apparently.
There's only 3 or 4 women that have it. I think that's what I was reading. But there's 5. It looks like, I don't know. There was some other thing that she did that is very rare, and I can't remember what it was. But anyways, and EGOT, man, that's crazy.
The exclusive club she's in is being a woman. Ooh.
And getting recognition for things.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, okay. She's the sole Black actress to achieve the Triple Crown of Acting, as well as the third person to achieve both the EGOT and the Triple Crown of Acting. So that's 2 different things.
What's the Triple Crown?
The
Like
Triple
an Emmy,
Crown of
an Oscar, and
Acting is a
Golden Globe?
term used. What's that?
Is the Triple Crown an Emmy, Oscar, and Golden Globe?
No, it's an Oscar, Emmy, and Tony, but for acting. You know what I mean? So a lot of people that got EGOTs are for different things, you know? So 15 women and 9 men have achieved the Triple Crown. She was the first Black person or Black woman, I think, to do so. So anyways, it's a weird thing to imagine winning that many awards. Anyways.
There apparently, in addition to an EGOT, there's also a GOATSY. So that's a Golden Globe, an Oscar,
A Cable Ace Award.
a Cable Ace Award, a Tony,
S.
some cool
Independent
stuff.
Spirit Award? Wait, what'd you say?
Spirit Award.
Yeah, Spirit Award, and then
Okay.
an Emmy. Yeah.
And have you seen the trophy they give you? If you get that, it's very explicit. A lot of detail.
And it smells awful.
Was it? I can't remember years ago when GOATSY was a thing.
It's still a thing.
Well, I know it's still a thing. I'm not going to find out though. But I mean, when people, first, like I'm sure it's Trevor that showed it to me. But one of us, when we first saw it, I forget who it was, but we were standing around and someone goes, like their first, I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of us. Their first reaction was, "That guy's got to be dead." Like just that his butthole was so stretched. I was like, he's got to be dead. I can't remember if it was one of you guys or some friend, but I don't know.
If it was one of us, my money would be on Zach.
Yeah, I was
that
literally
sounds-
thinking, I was like, that's
that was my
probably-
thought. That it sounds like a Zach thing. Like that guy's dead.
You know what's funny? I have an embarrassing memory kind of adjacent to this where like somebody had told me this like story about they knew someone who's had such a gnarly yeast infection or such a gnarly infection in their asshole that they started shitting out of their vagina. And I believed it. And I remember I was like on set and I was talking to Biederman. I was like, and my friend knows this girl and her asshole like got so infected that she started to actually shit out of her vagina. And I remember Jim being like, that's not possible. And I was like, no, it really happened. He's like, that's not possible. Like the anatomy of a human would never even work that way. They're not connected. And I was like, oh.
Zach,
like I kind of realized like as he was explaining, I was like, oh yeah, that does make sense.
like there's tubes that would have to be switched around.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't work like that. She would die.
I like that when you're like telling a story about yourself being dumb, you like gave yourself a different voice.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. It also
the
reminds
dumb
me
guy
like,
voice.
I got told a tall tale about that like Tom Cruise and Will Smith would have prosthetics made for their faces, and then they would fly down to South America, just have like crazy orgies as anonymous people. And I believed it. And I remember I was out like at dinner with this like a very powerful person, and I would like I was like,
it was Donald Trump.
Too. And I like, and he goes, that's not true. he was like so immediately like you're a fucking idiot. That doesn't happen.
That is so funny.
Oh, okay, all right. It's just like it's just
I guess that makes
in your 20s, you just believe stupid shit.
Yeah, man. Well, and the thing is, like that in particular, that
no, Zach doesn't go to.
Somebody famous does do that.
Thing.
You know what I mean? There's got to be someone rich and powerful that does something like that. You know what I mean?
I mean,
maybe. I really doubt it, but maybe.
How does
Or
the
at least-
makeup stay on?
Yeah,
It would be insane. It doesn't
Yeah,
make any
you're right.
sense.
you're like
You're talking about Mission Impossible technology here.
right.
That's
But if anybody could have access to real stuff, I mean, you know, I don't know. But there was that period of Tom Cruise's career where like every movie he did, he like fucked with his face. You know, obviously the Mission Impossibles is. But Minority Report, he does that thing that makes his face all blobby in that one scene. Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
God, there's another one too.
Have you seen his face recently? He's old.
Yeah. What the hell? Yeah, every once in a while in the last couple Mission Impossibles, like a certain angle, he's doing a certain stunt, you're like, that front hair, I don't buy it. Like this little, yeah, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Oh, how's everybody else doing? I mean, what's else going on?
But the thing is with that though, I mean, sorry, is that you look at him and you're like, yeah, I don't buy it. That guy doesn't look 50. And you're like, oh wait, he's supposed to be how old? You know?
Yeah, he's 60.
Yeah.
Tom
Brad
Cruise
Pitt?
is 60? No.
Yeah.
Is he?
I think he just
Tom
turned
Cruise
60.
is 60. Brad Pitt is 60.
Brad Pitt is 60 too?
Yep.
Dude, like at least once a day I'll Google some person who was a big deal when we were younger or that I, you know, someone I'm a fan of or whatever, and just be like, holy shit, they're what? You know? Like some of these actors, like okay, so man, I can't remember his name, but there's this horror movie actor, Tom Atkins, who's in Maniac Cop and Halloween 3 and all these great goofy 80s horror movies. He's like fucking 91 years old or something, and it's like, oh my god, you know, it's just it's like time keeps moving forward.
Wait, he's still alive?
Yeah, dude. And he
This
like
is the
doesn't
guy
look that old.
Isn't he from The Stuff? Wasn't he also in The Stuff?
No, you're thinking of Michael Moriarty, but Tom Atkins and Michael Moriarty, they were all in all those like.
Oh yeah,
lesser
Tom
80s
Atkins, yeah, man, from The Fog and.
Yes, The Fog. Yeah. I love it. In The Fog, like they don't even show him and Jamie Lee Curtis hit it off. They just assume
it's crazy.
They're just suddenly fucking.
She's hitchhiking. She gets in the cab with him. He's driving a truck. He's like, "Where are you going?" And then cut to they're like in bed post-coital, and you're just like,
they're like smoking a bit.
By the way, she's also like 21 years old. He's like 48.
Well, he must have been 48. Yeah, you know,
crazy. And he looks like Ron Perlman. He's not like an Adonis or anything. It's
no,
just
but
like,
he has. There's some sort of thing with him because also in Halloween 3,
Halloween,
he checks up with a much younger woman, and it's just he's supposed to be this like just a sex symbol. I don't want to talk shit to him because if he's still alive, he could probably beat the shit out of us.
He definitely probably is all over Twitch.
88 years old.
Yeah. He's watching.
He fucking loves this.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I wonder if they're gonna draw buttholes again.
He's like logging off of Fortnite to watch our show on Twitch.
Yeah.
Drinking a Monster Energy drink, calling hot dogs glizzies or whatever the fuck those younger people do.
You know what I saw?
Glizzies, really?
I've heard that somewhere. It was a while back. What's that?
You know what I saw last night? I went and saw at Vidiots, they were showing a print of A Scanner Darkly. Have you guys seen that?
Oh, I never seen that.
I saw that in theaters when it came out.
Yeah, me too. I hadn't seen it since the theater, and I went last night. It's crazy how good Robert Downey Jr. is. Obviously, we all know Robert Downey Jr. is like a force of nature, but like he is just so fucking amazing in that movie. It is nuts. And he's in the first half of the movie a lot, and you're like, this is a masterpiece. It's like Big Lebowski level of just like banter, and he's just killing it. And then he just kind of disappears from the movie, and the second half is just like Keanu just like being stoic. And it just kind of, I'm like, oh man, but it's worth it for that first. And yeah, Alex Jones is in it, right? Alex Jones has
Alex Jones.
That's funny.
Alex Jones.
He's from like Austin, and so Linklater knew him back in the day.
He was in Waking Life too.
He was in Waking Life.
Yeah.
And that was more when he was just like a weirdo than like this kind of like he hadn't quite descended.
He wanted to be famous, and then he figured out, I could be famous if I'm just totally awful.
Yeah, be a right-wing maniac. And whatever that horrible shit he said about like parents of dead kids and all that stuff.
Yeah, Sandy Hook, all that, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the Big Lebowski, there's some like motivational speaker event coming to my town, and I heard an ad for it. And they're like, speakers include John Milius, I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
And I looked, no, it's John Milius, some motivational speaker. But for a second, I was like, holy shit. So I'm like, he's still alive. And, it's possible. I don't know what he's doing. Alive? Yeah, but someone could have gotten him for an event here. It's not totally out of the realm of possibility. It's not like pooping onto your vagina. It could happen, So he's 79. He's younger than Tom Atkins. Anyways, but it's not him. But yeah, John Milius, of course, is the director, but they based Walter from Big Lebowski on. But that's why.
Yeah, wrote Apocalypse Now.
Conan the Barbarian.
Wrote and directed.
And I believe wrote it. Yeah,
no,
that
Oliver
movie.
Stone wrote Conan the Barbarian, but John Milius.
Oh, okay, so directed.
Oliver Stone wrote it? Great. Dude, that first one is really fucking good. That's a great movie. And Schwarzenegger, wow. He was very large. I've shown my daughter some Schwarzenegger classics lately. She just is like, I can't believe. So he just says these puns all the time. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's like, I kind of forgot. I'm like, that's like what he did. He had muscles and said dumb puns, and like, he was a fucking huge success.
Like, what were some of the puns?
Well, from like the Running Man, in the Running Man, he kills all, he's like fighting all these like themed hunter kind of pro wrestler type of guys. So like the Saw guy, when he fights him, he like, ends up sticking the saw into him and like splitting him. And so when he meets up with his friends later, they're like, what happened to Buzzsaw? He had the split, stuff like that. And because he's let him happen. There's, and then when he kills the hockey theme guy, like, I put him on ice. And it's like, that was clearly a, practice for when he was Mr. Freeze in that Batman movie. And it was all like, ice to meet you.
Hang on now. Turta Taylor says, Zach, it's called a rectovaginal fistula. Now, a fistula, I know what a fistula is. That's when your intestine, I believe, ruptures. A woman can poop out of their vagina. You were right all along. I don't know. Rectovaginal fistula. Let's get into this here. Come on, everybody.
I'm not going to Google that. You want me to Google it?
Rectovaginal fistula.
I'm using my Google.
Literally have to talk to Biederman about this. A rectovaginal
should we call him on stream?
That should not exist between the lower part of the large intestine, the rectum or anus, and the vagina. Bowel contents can leak through the fistula, allowing gas or stool to pass through the vagina. If I send this to Jim Biederman right now, there's zero chance he'll remember this conversation.
He will have no idea.
20 years ago, and he will be like, "Why are you?"
Should
I'd be like,
Zach.
Jim, you made me feel so stupid when I told you about this.
So, okay.
Should I shot in
So
the
the
dark?
fistula is like a
text him?
tear or something?
Yeah, Sam, will you text him and be like, hey, just text him. What are you going to text
Are you available right now?
Yeah, can we get him on the phone? Ask him if he's down to get on the phone
That'd
on the
be
screen
amazing.
so I can have a conversation.
Oh, and let's clear this up.
So the
And let's
fistula
clear it up
is
like
like
it's a really big thing that we figured
It's like
out.
a
I actually
tear-
would love this. Let's see if we can get him on the phone. Go ahead.
it's like a tear or a rupture is what it is, and then it can go through that. Okay. Just send him the Zoom link and
All
don't
right.
say anything else.
I can't believe that I wasn't wrong.
That's amazing, man. And,
Wait,
you know,
take that page down. Yeah, thank you.
this is why the internet
Yeah,
can be good.
Turtot Taylor, I got to say thank you so much. You made my day today. This is a big deal.
So I asked if it's a tear that goes
Hell
between
yeah,
the two.
chat.
Turta Taylor says it's more like a tunnel. So like a tunnel gets forged in between the two areas. Oh, all right.
That kind of reminds me when I had my kidney stone, I had to take like these pills that helped me flow, like the urine flow better or whatever. And so I was taking them, and about like 2 weeks in, I masturbated and no came.
By the way, real quick, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. It's great. It was awesome.
Dude, that rules, bro.
But no cum came out. And I like freaked out.
Real quick, that's fucked up, dude.
Whoa.
But there's something like with this.
Did it feel good?
Like it changes the canals and like it doesn't come out and it goes somewhere else. And
then like a week later, did you sneeze and like jizz came out of your
You just itch your ear. You itch your ear and a bunch of spooshes. Like, what the
Did you fart jizz?
So hey, Darren, somebody in chat here, Royal8383 says, dude, and nothing came out. It happened to me too. That's wild. That's something.
What's his name again?
Royal 8383 says it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Royal. Thank you.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sam,
All
did
right.
he respond?
Darren,
Yes.
I forgot that you had a
did?
kidney stone. He responded.
Coming on?
He said sure.
This is Christmas morning for me.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Christmas morning. I can't
like
believe it. I'm
Like
gonna go get myself
Scrooge
a
out the
beverage.
window. Boy, go buy the biggest hat you can find.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right. Email. Okay.
He wants you to email the link.
I'm so excited for these next how many ever minutes. Right.
You know he'll like hang out. That's what'll happen. It'll be fun.
This is going to be the best self-suck since Trevor died.
Yeah, because that one right after he died was awesome.
No, I mean,
I know what you meant it earlier.
all-timer.
Yeah, I get it. So somebody, Kurt Cobain says, Darren, tell Biederman the cum story that you just told. Maybe he can relate too. I don't know.
Jim always begs me to tell this other story. I'm not going to tell it, but
it's cool that happened to you, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool. The cum story is much cooler than it happened to me. Yeah.
He always begs me to tell him this story I told him once about this time I was like fucking this girl, and he always asks me to get really like into the details of everything.
You know, when I told him I was going to be a dad, that's what he was like, well, how did it happen? And I'm like, what do you mean? He asked me to write it all down, and I did, and he posted it on literotica.net. Anyways.
All right.
Is he coming?
I think so.
Somebody in chat says, did she have a sweet puss?
All right, I'm using the bathroom.
What do you mean?
I was at the
He's going to go jerk off and see if no cum comes out.
oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Yes. Oh.
Whoa.
You guys.
Look at him.
Hey, Beads.
What do you want? What the fuck?
Sam didn't tell
Zach?
you.
We figured out something.
Well, we gotta wait till Zach gets back, though.
Look at
Yeah,
Zach. Zach looks like it's a palatial manor.
Probably is.
Yeah.
You know, Zach, I mean, there's one word to describe him. It's palatial, right? You guys, man, he's so, what does that mean?
Like a palace.
Oh, okay.
Palatial.
Jim, how you doing? You look great, man.
Oh, thank you.
You look-
Garen, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Where are you? Are you here? Are you in England?
I'm in England.
Holy shit, it's
Oh,
11 o'clock at night.
Jim. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Very,
I'm gonna turn off my I'm gonna mute and just watch this conversation.
Okay, can I just get into it with Jim?
Yeah, go for it.
oh, fuck.
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
What did I do now?
Okay,
Jim, this is huge. Huge, by the way.
Big deal.
This is a big deal.
All right, so we were on set. I think it was it might have been during the Sundance pilot that we were shooting because Mike Bosey was there. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're hanging out.
Mhm.
And I tell you
Mhm.
a story that happened to a friend of mine where it was a woman who had a anal infection that was so severe that she over time began to shit out of her vagina. And I told you this story, you and Mike, and I thought it was like so crazy, and you go, that's not possible.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it really happened to this girl. And you're like, that's complete. And Mike Bosey agreed with you. It's like, that's just anatomically impossible. And I was like,
Correct.
and you're saying correct now. Yes, it was and it was like, you were so, by the way, it was very funny, but you were just so like immediately dismissive. And I felt really fucking stupid. I was like, oh, I'm so dumb. How could I believe something so stupid?
I love the detail that this was during the Sundance pilot. Like we
that
met
makes it
Jim.
different.
Yeah,
Like,
we
we
know
only
Jim very
met
well.
Jim
Jim for
like
like
Because we
3
had a
months.
similar conversation in season 2.
We did?
No, I'm kidding.
All right, but you've no memory of me saying this to you, do you?
I vaguely remember. I do remember Darren and I getting into an argument whether a woman could squirt. Do you remember that?
I
You said
hear-
it's real, and I said I think it's not real.
Yeah.
I remember that conversation. But by the way, Zach, I don't exactly remember it, but I could see you saying it. I could see.
I did say it. I did say it, and your reaction was similar to now, where you agree with yourself, like no one shits out of their vagina. It doesn't work.
No,
that
I
way.
don't. This might.
Keep going. Keep going.
Well, they're not connected.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
By the way, I guess it's possible if there was like a massive rupture in her rectum that somehow fused with her urethra.
Well, that would have been a nice thing for you to have said in the fucking past, because what you're describing is a rectovaginal fistula, which is a connection that should not exist between the lower part of the large intestine and the rectum or the anus and the vagina. The bowel contents can leak through the fistula, allowing gas or stool to pass through the vagina.
Well, I'm very close. I'm very close to being a doctor.
And Zach told the story about telling you a little bit ago, and then someone in chat was like, "That is real," and like told us that term. And then Zach
I told the story about telling you and how foolish I felt because it was so obviously wrong. So the story was not that you were an asshole; it was that like as a 22-year-old or however old I was, 25-year-old, it was like, how gullible could I be?
I thought about this. I thought about this. I don't know why it came up in my brain, but I'm not going to mention any names. But there was a woman who was close with or very friendly with your girlfriend at the time, who was a former girlfriend of mine. Okay.
Yes.
And I had flown in from LA to see you guys do a show at Stand Up New York. I was on the East Side. What's the club?
Yes, I remember that's when we met you, right?
Yes, correct.
And like Jeff Ross or somebody was there.
Yeah, Jeff Ross went on after something like that. Yeah.
So I don't remember because I remember we're staying in the street outside after your show. And Zach, you said to me, I'm sure I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Oh, I know so and so. She knows blah blah blah. She says hi or something like that, and I said she's a cunt, and it was literally my immediate. I went, she's a cunt, and you looked so horrified, like you were just like. He is like I mean, I'm sure she's no longer a cunt, but
Maybe.
Remember that? I actually remember that conversation. We were on the sidewalk in front of the
right,
club. Do
exactly,
you remember?
exactly. And then the other thing was saying
That was the first time I ever heard an adult say that word. So I was just
like a child says it all the time.
yeah, kids say it. But grown-ups don't say that.
Yeah, no, you grow out of it or you don't. And then the same person had convinced the same person, we had the same conversation maybe about a year later, that sometimes you have to sleep with hobos.
With hobos?
With hobos and your subjects.
Oh, yeah.
And
the person we're describing
you said that doesn't make sense. I was like, she's a cunt.
I'm not saying too much to say the person we're talking about was a photographer who would photograph interesting subjects.
Correct.
And in that line of work occasionally had to fuck hobos.
Go down on her subjects.
Yeah, you got to blow a hobo.
Yeah, I mean, look, by the way, if I had a nickel.
Yeah. It became so common she would say, I blowbowed last night. It was that.
Yeah. You blowbowed.
That's got to be a website now, right? Blowbo.com?
Well, if it's not.
Oh, let me see. Oh, I'm buying that domain.
Blowbo. But I just want I'm picturing the hobo receiving the blowbo, like classic, like a little fedora with the top is blown out. He's got the bindle. He's got a little
blindy. What do they call them?
Bindle.
A brindle.
Bindle.
Right?
Yeah.
A bindle.
I don't think it's
it's kind of doing this.
Brindle was the fly. Brindle fly.
Fly.
Bindle fly.
Sometimes you have to blow a blindle.
Something's got to blow by a brindle fly.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And I don't know why, Zach. I can't. I remember thinking like, how the fuck did that come up in my brain? Like it was, but I remember your genuine. It was genuine. Your genuine kind of not horror, but just like I remember thinking when I was thinking. Like he must have thought it was such a like you had this look of like I don't know about this guy. Like,
no. First of all, like nothing offends me.
No, I know. But I think the immediacy of my response wasn't the word. I know you don't give a shit about any of that stuff, but I think it was the immediate my gut reaction.
But you know what I bet it was?
My urethral fistula reaction.
I bet it was more that like that was the first day we met.
Yeah.
That was probably our first conversation.
Mm.
And it was one of those things where I was just like, I probably had a narrow idea of who you are. To me, you are a Hollywood television producer, and what you were. You flew from LA to come see the show.
Technically, yeah. Geographically correct.
That's not crazy.
Geographically correct.
I had an idea of how a television producer behaves, and then we're hanging out, and I bring up someone I know. You're like, oh, they're a fucking cunt. And I was like, my perception of you just like widened. I think that's. I was like, oh, he's like more interesting than I was.
Oh, good. That's good.
And that's when we fell in love with you when you said the
no, and I have very fond memories of that. So I'm glad you mentioned the Sundance pilot. Two things. One, no, I'm more than two. The shooting the kicking Timmy in the balls sketch.
Yeah, slapping.
Oh yeah.
At the band shell in Central Park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my most famous grumpy moments.
Oh,
that was one of my fondest memories.
It was raining. It was so.
Yeah, it was raining. It was kind of cold because it was raining.
Fucking funny, and your increasing agitation.
Yeah,
the only way to describe it. And the joy.
What was the thing I said? You probably remember. You're probably going to say it. Sorry.
I had a dream last night that I was in a sketch group with you guys, and it was the worst fucking nightmare I've ever had.
What a weird fucking dramatic
I had that
thing
same nightmare. That's so weird.
You were on the ground,
right?
You're cupping your.
Right. I just remember because I had a nut cup on, and when the first time Zach's going to kick me in the nuts, he kicked too high and kicked me in the stomach. Yeah. Like I had protection on for my dick and balls, and Zach goes boom, right into the belly.
The joy that Zach had.
Yeah.
It was just like he was giggling, and
it was wonderful. Just to be able to like intentionally miss and hurt.
It's really insane that we can
like turning to me and going, is he okay? I was like, keep filming, just keep filming.
Wait, who turned to you and said that?
Posey,
Oh,
is he okay?
Did I throw
the one person who wasn't in on this just cruel whatever the fuck was happening? Is he okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
Did I throw the bottle at Timmy's head in that?
It's like I'm
It wasn't
watching,
real
like,
though.
don't interrupt.
Yeah.
Look, the lion is going to eat the fucking gazelle. It's not our job to stop and save the gazelle.
But you're equating shooting our pilot
7,000 miles to Africa to go, oh, gazelle, get out of the way.
So to you, shooting the Whitest Kids You Know Sundance pilot was like making a nature documentary.
Very much so.
We'll just let these weird beasts be themselves. But yeah,
So
Sam,
that
so you threw a sugar glass whiskey bottle.
that because it was first of all, it's a really funny sketch. Secondly, it is, I guess, probably fairly true in terms of everyone's delineation in the power play of the group in a weird way, right? Sure. And then three, well, first of all, I should put one. It's always funny to see you get kicked in the nuts. It just is.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yeah. What did I say? I got kickable nuts. That's what the doctor said when he pulled me out. This kid's got kickable nuts.
Most people in show business don't. And so, but also it's just, it was the, what do you call it? It was just the perfect. It was perfect. Everything about that day was. And,
do we still have the raw footage? I mean, I know we still have the sketch, but do we have like the footage from that somewhere?
No,
probably not.
I have no idea.
It'd be kind of fun to watch because I'm sure I'm just such a little bitch.
I don't think I have a copy of that file. But so that was one, and then two. Also, Zach, there was again weird shit that just sticks in my mind and has never laughed. It's not like it comes up like I'm on the verge of dementia, and these are things that come up, like I remember the Sundance pilot like it was yesterday, but
yeah, you're still a few years from
who
that.
are you people? So you insisted on using Eric Satie, one of the whatever a picture of, and it's the shot of Timmy getting out of the subway. It's pouring rain, and he's like carrying.
Like all the props and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And you insisted on using the Satie. And I remember one, which is a beautiful piece of music and totally makes sense and whatever. It's also very cinematic and all that. So but I remember one of the executives at Sundance going, this is kind of sad music for a comedy show or some bullshit thing like that. And I said to that person, I don't remember who it was. It was a guy. I don't remember his name.
It's probably Alex.
No, it wasn't Alex.
Oh, no, he was Fuse. I don't know who it would be. Okay. Danny Passman?
No. This was Sundance.
He was Fuse.
I can't remember.
Yeah. And so I remember turning him and I said, kind of in the most, I mean, in hindsight, I feel like a fucking asshole, but I said, this is art.
That's great.
I know you just watched Timmy get kicked in the nuts.
But this shot, this is art.
This is art. This is the whole fucking thing is art. And if you didn't get it, like, you don't understand that. And then we proceeded to go in and shoot a film in the conference room where the word queef, I think, is said.
Yeah.
And Sam picked his nose and wiped his nose. But it was a glass table.
Sam also I just spoke to Sam today. I spoke to Sam today. Sam Cedar, sorry, that is. And
Sam Cedar.
So Sam played, that's who it was. Sam was playing the executive who said to me, that seems kind of heavy for, sad for
okay.
Whatever that guy's name was. Sam played him. And I remember years later, Sam Cedar said to me, oh fuck, I had this meeting today. I was like, who's with blah blah blah. I can't remember the guy's name. And I go, who's that? And he goes, that's that idiot at fucking Sundance that I had to the guys had me play. And I remember, and I never realized that he knew so I had this meeting, and the whole time at the end of the meeting, he says to me, by the way, your impression of me is great. And he's like, what are you talking about? And the guy tells him, and was still years later kind of miffed about it.
That's so funny.
Wow, that's weird.
So those are the little things I remember. Oh, and also I remember getting in a huge fight. Then this kind of closes it. We don't have to go into my dementia, but
By the way, you could do this for the rest of the show. And
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Fine.
Is there a
So
dollar
good.
counter?
We were
Is
just
Yeah,
sitting here in
dollar
silence
counter.
before you
I'll
were
do
on.
it if it's
Yeah.
for the kids.
We're
If
just
it's a
waiting for
charity for
something
the
to
kids, I'll keep telling. But no, but a massive fight, like screaming fight with an executive who will go unnamed, but you know who it is at IFC at that point, at the end, towards the end, about civil war on drugs.
Oh,
And Carl Welker was on the phone call as well. And I said, because remember we tried many different angles to go, hey, we want to do it as a separate like episode, entire, almost like a two-parter.
Yeah.
No, like they didn't want anything about it. And I don't know, whoever came up with the idea of doing, why don't we do these kind of serialized, right, at the bottom of every episode for season 5 or whatever it was.
Mhm.
And but no, that was a great idea. Not only did we get to do it, we were going to get to do it, and then of course we knew we were going to piece it all back together. But it had that kind of serial Saturday morning kind of throwback thing.
Yeah.
In tonight's episode, Flash Gordon takes on Moo, the planet Moo. It's like it had that kind of vibe to it, right? Except it wasn't like that at all. It was the most fucked up thing in the world. But and I had pitched it, and the response was no, we're not allowing that. And the conversation escalates really fast into me screaming at this executive, going, they have been faithful to you fuckers. They've done 5 fucking years for you people. Like, I just go off, and I was like, and this, if you read the fucking script, which I know you didn't because you can't fucking read, like I went off.
Oh my God.
I went off. And I said, they're doing it. We're doing it. Sue me. And this woman's screaming back at me, and she said, and Cara Cara goes, well, I think what the guys really want to do, and she attacks Cara, and I said, how dare you attack Cara? Like, I just went, I was like, literally I was in full duel mode, if I had a pistol kind of thing. Wow. 10 steps, my friend. And so, it was, and we ended with like, no. And then I got a phone call from her boss saying, what is going on? And I explain it, and I get in a fight with her. And I don't think you guys ever really knew this.
No, we did that.
We did that. We did that. I mean, I just said to Marla, fuck them, we're shooting it. I don't fucking care. We're fucking doing it. And so you guys were shooting, and the whole time, like, we didn't want any of them to come to set, just, not that they normally did, but the biggest fear was they would show up to set and they'd be like, why are they all dressed up in Civil War stuff?
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that, Jim.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you,
What
yeah.
a badass.
What a hero that I didn't know
Well,
that.
cocaine's a wonderful drug.
I was gonna ask, was this in your peak snow years? Yeah.
Total. Yeah.
But what's so funny? It's like they had no cards really to play because, like, were they going to cancel us? We all knew it was last season.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, I mean, I remember I hadn't read the script yet. I had at that point, but early on, Marla came into the office one day and she said, have you read the Civil War on Drugs script? I was like, no, why? She goes, it's fucking unbelievably funny.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And so that afternoon, I literally just went home and read. I didn't want to be bothered. I was like, I won't get home. I read it, and it's true. It's a really fucking funny script. And I saw it. It was like one of those things when you're reading it, which is the best script in the world, when you can see what is there. And laughing about it, and I'm just thinking, oh, we got to do it. We definitely have to do this. And I think most of my communication about it was with Trevor. And so when I got off the phone, Trevor said, I guess he heard me screaming. And he was in the office, and he said, what was that about? I was like, don't worry about it. It's like, no, really was. I said, they don't want us to do Civil War. Well, maybe we shouldn't. I was like, don't you fucking start.
Yeah. I can't go to war and then have you fucking. Yeah.
I said, fuck you. And he was like, no, I was like, no, get the fuck out of my face. We're doing it. And I remember like storming out of the office. The next day I came in, and Marla was like, are you feeling better? I was like, I felt great. I feel great. I love occasionally literally destroying an executive.
I bet, man. It's got to be a good feeling when it works.
Part of it was also just like, I think there was a little bit of like, how dare they? Like, how dare they tell us what they're going to do? It's like, when did that not happen? I don't know. Like, you're
But
acting
the whole
like
point of going to IFC was that they told us, like, you guys can do whatever you want. That was the deal that they made with us. Otherwise, we would have gone somewhere else, you know?
Right.
So for them to do that,
they have some crazy stuff. Like when they switched over from being not commercial or whatever, and they started. We had to do like season 3 or 4 was commercials.
Yeah.
We did the little episodes.
Yeah.
The automat. Yeah.
Oh yeah, automat. There you go.
Which Trevor was like on a phone call with the guy who like was like, yeah, like this is the thing. He goes, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. But
it was. But
sure was.
I got in a couple fights about that stuff. But there were 2. One was they called me up and said, we have this crazy idea. We're gonna do we just want the guys to do like 30 seconds at the top of the show, and then we're gonna put a commercial, and then we come back. I was like, I thought it was a joke. I was like, what do you mean? And they said, well, we're gonna do 30, like Zach will come on and do blah 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 blah, and for 30 seconds, and then we'll go to a commercial. And I was like, well, why would you do that? And they said, well, because when everyone else is doing programming, we're gonna do our commercial. It was like, do you think what people watch TV for the commercials? Like, what is it that you think is happening? And I was walking to our office. I remember that in the morning. And you could tell they had this kind of brainstorm in the meeting the day before in the offices, and they were pitching me this great idea. I was like, you lose viewers. You don't understand that. You understand that the reason Act 1 in commercial television is usually 9-10 minutes long is you want to keep them as long as fucking possible. And they were like, and she was like, well, we just thought it'd be really fun and be different. And I was like, yeah, it'd be different. It'd definitely be different.
Oh my God. Jim, have you ever
so that's who we were dealing with. And when they went commercial, they actually asked us, what words should we not be able to say? I was like, no, I don't think we should. I think we should be saying anything we want. Well,
that's not our decision.
No, it's not. And so they asked me to write up a list. I said, well, look, cable is not controlled by the FCC. So you can say whatever you want. It is a corporate decision on Comedy Central's part or, the Food Channel's part that and the Food Channel's a perfect example. So when Bourdain was on the Food Channel, like he was one of the first people who actually said shit on the Food Channel, but they're not bound by it. There's no violation. So I said they corporately decide like, hey, you know what? We don't like cocksucker. Okay, well, don't say cock. But it becomes like a corporate decision. And I said, so, corporately, you should decide what words you don't want. They said, well, traditionally, what would those be? I said, corporately, whatever you want. Well, like, what do you think corporately we would not want?
What an insane conversation.
I'm not your corporation.
I said, I don't know. I mean, cunt? I don't know. And they said, yeah, cunt's a good word. So I could hear them like, cunt. And then,
cunt.
They let me say cunt, though. So I guess that's.
Why did we not think of cunt? Why did we have to call he's the one who talked.
Man.
So I said,
these are the same people that read Shoshan the Elegant and said, if this is a race joke, we get it.
I mean, it was
like, so you don't.
Say, I will say it was the most fun show I ever worked on, but it was also so much drama. There was I don't think you know half the shit that I just was like,
apparently
I
not.
always said I made a promise to you guys. I will protect whatever you show you want to make. So I will just and to that end, don't ask me literally, when I go out back with the bag of kittens and I drown them in the river. Don't talk to me about it. Don't ask me. Don't say, Jim, do you really have to drown the kittens? And I have to go, yes, I really have to drown them. Don't ask. Because I don't feel great about drowning the kittens. But no, and so there were constantly battles. And then the thing I thought about the other day was, remember that crazy letter that we got about you guys were all involved in there was that crazy lunatic who insisted
who said that we had an audition and that we all
that you raped him. Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
And remember, Fuse kind of were worried about it. Like they thought
not worried. Like that, I got a phone call, and the reason it came up in my head is I actually had a conversation with who's the executive is now over at is a big time executive at another network, and she brought it up to me recently, and I was like, yeah, I remember. What we didn't talk about was at the time she called me up in almost tears, like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna send you this thing. I get this thing, I read it. I'm like, this is like literally paranoid schizophrenic writing, right? When you've ever read a paranoid.
And wait for chat. Let me just say,
because they're kind of freaking out.
Like somebody wrote a letter to the network saying that all 5 of us had an audition in one of our apartments, and they came to the audition, and we set up a camera, and then all 5 of us raped this man. And first of all, we never ever had an audition like that. We were all present for. We never had an audition in our apartment ever.
Right.
We never met.
Never raped. You all 5 of you would never rape that one guy.
Trevor usually wasn't there.
You guys have different tastes.
Yeah, we separated work from pleasure when we did that.
Right, for that person to be able to ignite passion in all of you, that's you know what? That's a guy you raped.
Passion. Oh my God.
It was just one of those things that was so like obviously like insane. Right. And the fact that they like kind of like took it remotely seriously was
what are we gonna do?
Right.
He was gonna go to the press or something. And he had a record of doing stuff like this, right? If I remember. And so I remember being summoned to their office, and there were 4 executives, and they were like, "What are you going to do?" I was like, "Look, I know these guys. I mean, I can't say I've known them for more than however many years I've known them. I just don't think this is something they." And I had this vision of, remember that apartment in Brooklyn, Trevor's apartment, and he had that mean cat.
Yeah,
Beatrix.
Oh yeah,
in Greenpoint. Yeah,
right. And that I had this like that was the place where you guys had invited. He'd lured this guy in for an audition and then raped him mercilessly as the mean cat watched on.
And Trevor had his cucumber water brewing up in the big tank he had. Do you want some cucumber water when we're done?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Did you take our side because you didn't think we would do something like that? Or do you think it was that we couldn't pull something like that off?
Yeah, you're not that smart.
These guys are not smart enough to gang rape someone. They're so dumb. I don't think they could do that.
You know, look, this sounds like the work of a pro. I was like, I remember reading it and thinking like, first of all, getting upset, kind of that, I had a college roommate who disappeared one day. He just literally never came back to.
Whoa. Like ever?
No, never came back. And this was at NYU. And I remember there was a lot of investigation. The police were called. Like, was he murdered? Whatever. And he had subsequently had communicated with his parents. And let's say the last couple of weeks that we saw him in the dorm, in our 4-person dorm room. He, he would say weird, like it was kind of non sequitur weird things. And we just, we were all fucked up all the time. So it didn't really, we were like, yeah, right. And so I remember walking months later in Thompson Square, and there he was on a park bench. And I sat down and I said, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" And he seemed fine. And we were talking, knew who I was, and we were talking. And then I said, you should really, come back to the, or at least talk to your parents. And this look just came over his face, and he snapped into his schizophrenic mode. And he said, "Oh, I get it. I was like, what do you got?" He was like, "I got it. Okay. So you want to tell me how long you've worked for the government?" Like it was, I know it sounds stupid and silly, but it's chilling when you see, when you come face to face with a human who's insane, right? Like it's chilling. Reading that letter was that same kind of, it was chilling. Like I was like, first of all, I don't believe this, again, because you guys just aren't that good. But also, but more importantly, it was like chilling. The guy, whoever wrote this was crazy. And so I said I said, "Look, I'm pretty sure they didn't do it." But I said, this just reads like schizophrenic, dream writing or something. Yeah. And it's like, and it's just like, and they said, "Well, it sounds pretty thorough." And I was like, "Really? Really thorough?" You guys like, you've like, we've had a few instances of comedy groups luring men into
like, this is not our first rape letter we've read.
Right, yeah. This is not our first rape rodeo.
What? I just remember Toby Haggerty, our old manager.
Oh man, Toby.
Like a 70-year-old old New Yorker from the Bronx. And I remember her calling me like, "Boys, there's what's happening? Did you bring a man into your apartment and videotape it and rape him?
Violate him? Did you violate
What's
him?
happening right now? What are you talking about?"
And I remember
Wait, she called and asked you that before you knew what it was, Zach?
I don't even know if that
sent you
conversation
and
ever
Trevor,
happened,
Zach.
but that's just something Trevor and I would always joke
Right.
about.
I'm sure it was.
I remember showing you the letter going, guys, do you want to explain this? And you read it, you were like, this is crazy. I could see Toby. So what did you violate him?
I don't think I ever saw that letter.
I think you did.
I don't think I did.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. And it went on and on and on about also, I guess he had met in the letter, he had met you at a funeral. Someone had died.
Nope.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Look, I'm not going to.
That's how I know it's not true. That's how I know it's not true.
We didn't go to funerals then. If someone we knew died, we're just like, fuck them.
Yeah, let me just, for all of the fans listening, the group got off. Okay, so I'm not going to relitigate this trial.
We sure did, Jim.
That's right.
We got off twice.
Right, the first time in the apartment, and then in front of a jury of their peers.
It's just, it's similar to, many years later, like that guy randomly using Darren's wedding picture for that, like that cat killer guy.
Oh, yeah. Jim, do you know about this? An actual serial killer.
It's the same thing.
Oh, it's so weird that you use the drowning cats metaphor when there's this story.
Wait, so Jim, there's this documentary on Netflix called "Don't Fuck with Cats" about a killer in Canada, and
I remember I've seen it. Yeah,
and he had a habit of photoshopping himself into other people's photos. And one of the photos that he did that's on the show is Darren's wedding photos.
I watched it. I didn't even notice.
Yes, he put himself on Darren's face, so it's like me and Darren's buddy Bill are like next to this guy.
Yeah, and me. You can see me and Zach and Bill, but you can't. Yeah, but the way they screened it, you can't see Sam and Trevor's heads because they're too tall, so they're kind of cut off the top. But you can see me. You can see Zach and Bill. Yeah, and then obviously, Darren's wife's sitting with him, but he's got this man's face.
One of my favorite things was talking to Trevor when this was happening, and you can't see our heads, and Trevor goes, "Yeah, being tall worked out again."
He always said stuff like that, and nothing ever really, proved him wrong.
No, height is always good for that.
Right.
Wow, I didn't know that story. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Jim, here's a question. When you think back on all 5 years, barring the Timmy's band shell slap fight thing, what was the biggest fight you ever saw us have while making the show?
God, I don't know. Biggest fight? Well, Zach, you would normally have an eruption. I mean, you're the most volatile, I would say.
Oh, interesting. You think I'm more volatile than Timmy and Sam?
Yeah, but you had more to do in the decision-making process. I just throw a fit about
it was usually a fucking with his vision thing kind of thing.
Oh yeah, don't fuck with my vision. Yes.
Yeah, my tangent would be like, I said a little water, not a big water, and then I forget about it a minute later.
Yeah.
I would get the most angry
at PAs about the size of your water. I don't remember.
I don't think we ever gotten really big.
I don't think you did
like
ever
we were pretty chill too. When you said it was dramatic, Jim, I'm like,
I mean, we did.
I feel like we generally were pretty good, though.
I feel by the time we were on set, like a lot of the stuff had been decided and set in stone, right?
There was a while that some of you weren't talking to others. I can't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Trevor and I definitely had a falling out. Season 5 or 4. I can't remember. We were not cool with each other.
4. I think it was 4, and it was almost the whole season.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Yeah.
And but neither of you ever really talked about it with Marla and I. I mean, we asked, but it was obvious. It was evident.
We were just sick of each other. We went from season 2 to Miss March to season 3, and it was just we needed a break, desperately.
Miss March
didn't get a break. Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah, in between.
Then we shot some of that in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, season
2. Wait,
was it season 2? The one where it wore
snipers, whatever it was. Maybe it was 3 Miss March 4 or whatever.
No, yeah, I think you're. No, it was 2 Miss March 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I think that.
And then Miss March came out after season 3, or
I do remember that when Miss March came out and bombed. That's when Trevor and I were like, we've got to prove that we can make a movie that doesn't suck, and we were like, we've got to make Civil War on Drugs.
Because that had already been written at that point, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the dinosaur script? Was there
Like
a
a
dinosaur
movie?
script?
Oh,
No, we
you
had a
mean-
Oh,
time
the
travel
end of the
movie.
world.
The end of the world
End of the
ended
World,
with
yeah, yeah.
dinosaurs at
Yeah.
the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
When
that
was
never
that?
got-
That was written early too, right?
That we sold right as we made the first season. We sold that to Paramount like before we even got a show, I think.
Right, yeah. And then we had
Boy,
notes and
that
did a
went
few times.
crazy.
I remember that was
whole
like
thing.
a
They want-
real welcome to Hollywood thing. Because I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we got a deal at Paramount.
Woo,
Like, we're
yeah.
gonna be
Yeah,
so big. And like, no.
And then what was it? We were doing notes and changing things, and then by the time we had finished doing that part of it, they had everybody there had different jobs, and so right, it was like somebody
Yeah.
else was in charge. And I remember because they made us change the original idea to make it more like the Da Vinci Code or something, right? They wanted more like Da Vinci Code shit.
Yeah.
in it. Like
And we
like
did a
solving
reading
puzzles.
of that.
Please tell me.
That's a very
Please tell me
studio
they
thing.
use that phrase.
We did a
I
reading
wasn't
of
there,
that
but I think they did.
in LA, and it's funny reading the script, like because we hadn't read it, and we couldn't find. I think I since then have found like the original script, but it's funny because like the script is like was getting laughs, and then it hits the point where we're like, all right, where in the original script we go to the island,
Mm-hmm.
and now this is the point where like all the big notes came in, and it just falls apart.
Yeah.
And like the end of it's
Really?
flat, and it's like,
Wow.
oh, this like does not
It
work.
just dragged. I remember
That's-
as we were reading it being embarrassed near the end because it was like, this is so.
We're like solving
we lost it.
puzzles, right? And then like the Washington
Yeah.
Monument is a ship or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
So that's what you got when you guys did that
It's funny
reading.
that the first draft, I feel like, probably has so much more joy in it than any of that.
See, I guess I knew you guys had done that reading, but I guess I always assumed it was the original version. That's the version you read, huh? With all the dumb notes in it. Oh, okay.
It was one of the ones we could find.
So
You
you
know,
didn't
the
read,
par-
you never
I-
read
but-
like the Kumbaya Island clone thing?
No.
What else is going on?
What else is going on?
Uh,
Timmy got a lizard.
Have you made your movie? Did you do a movie yet? Can
No,
you talk about it? No. All right.
no. I had a cast snafu. So I had Pedro Pascal.
Oh, right. I read that.
Had to drop out, and I'm in the process of replacing him now. And I think I have my replacement, but it's too early to say.
Yeah.
Can I pitch you some? Zach.
I'm not supposed to talk about it either, if you know what I mean.
What?
I can talk.
The studio is very concerned, and I was like, guys, he's like, it's like 1-to-1. He's Pedro Pascal, Timmy Williams.
Yeah.
We have to fly him
It's
from
like
where?
it's like watching them look at themselves in a mirror.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, Sam, I know
that-
because Sam, I've been involved with legal stuff.
Oh, right.
Well,
Well, we're
sure,
suing
sure.
each other. We're suing each other.
Yeah, how's that going?
Because
Who's
That's
winning?
good.
we did that audition where Jim gang raped me.
He's just one dude, but it's
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
it's
no,
You
it
didn't
that-
think
felt
you
like-
could be gang raped by an
it felt like a
individual, but
gang
Jim
rape.
can.
Yeah.
I kept
so
running.
powerful.
I kept running
So
into
powerful.
a room and changing my put a mustache on and pretend I'm not Jim. I'm someone else. I'm
Like,
Bim.
come on, man! I know that's just a cowboy hat.
No, you're about to get gang raped by a bunch of guys.
It was amazing character work. It was like Groundlings level. Like
Thank you very much.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we're suing.
it
each
was
other.
his one man play, but it was awful. It was horrific.
That's
Because
insane.
of the raping.
Well, we're suing each other. Not.
Oh, somebody
Yeah.
somebody in chat says in all caps, "Play my favorite song," because that's a great Jim line from one of our sketches that we play the theme song.
It is my favorite song.
It's a good song. I'll suddenly start. I'll be doing fucking whatever and just start. Dun, you know what I mean? It just.
Well, it's dark here, but I live now on a
Slut boy.
and,
Okay.
and which is not far from, which is 2 blocks from.
Spray it all over my chest and hair.
think,
Yeah,
it's pretty much where we shot.
that's
the
where we
opening,
shot that.
Oh,
intro,
that
yeah.
right?
The intro, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Wow.
with you and the
Random.
dog and Timmy missing the pitch on the baseball bat, right?
Yes. Which I didn't
Um,
have to practice missing it. I could just get up there and miss it first take.
Wait, Timmy was swinging a baseball. I was playing with the dog. Sam, you were licking an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Darren, what were you doing?
I was holding balloons, I think.
And
So what was Trevor doing?
I thought you had a picnic, didn't you? Where you were like getting stuff out of a picnic?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
No, is that wrong?
Trevor.
No, I think you're right. And what was Trevor's?
I don't remember.
He's riding a bike.
Riding a bike.
Oh, riding a bike.
right,
Yeah,
right,
everybody in chat is like, we know
And
what
you're-
all of these are, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, we've seen the show.
And
Yeah,
you're
like,
all
we're your
kind-
fans,
you're all
remember
kind.
For us, Chad, it's not all about you.
Guys, you remember that first sketch that we made? It was so funny. Remember it?
Yeah,
Oh, hey, you know what I wanted to do while we still have Jim is there's a bunch of donations.
There
oh, I'm holding balloons.
With
I'll
messages
let
to
all the
Jim.
balloons.
There's some messages
Yeah.
to Jim here.
That's Marla's dog.
Right.
Rest in peace. He's no longer
I
with us.
can't believe none of us were jacking off. That would be a good one. Crying.
You know what?
Orgasming.
Too real. Too real.
When we had our first one that we would just show at pianos and stuff, we were doing stuff that's different because like we had somebody,
Yeah.
I think it was Sam crying, going through, swiping his Metro card to go
I
to
think
the
that was
subway.
Zach.
Was that
I
Zach?
think that was
Okay, one of
Zach
us.
was
I was
crying
always doing
Metro card,
baseball.
no?
I know that. And I think Trevor was always on the bike, but you guys might have all been different
Look at
things.
the-
I think I
Yeah, so
had
that I'm right near that part. And so I take
Oh.
my dog now there. I feel like I'm like, and I take my child there and have them cry and masturbate.
Crying and masturbating wouldn't work because we're supposed to be doing fun things.
Right.
Oh,
And-
that
You know,
are
the,
making us cry.
Yeah.
When I
maybe if you
masturbate,
put
it's very
if we put the
painful.
Eric Satie theme on that. we
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
note.
It's art.
Shouldn't they be crying
That's the
and
thing.
masturbating?
When I masturbate, it's art.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
That's what I always forget about the Sundance pilot, circling all the way back around, is that it was a narrative. I always forget that.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
story
And it was
a-
about you guys are pitching the show. I was out of town because my grandma died, which really happened like the year before that, right? Or 2 years before that.
Yeah, I think
And,
yeah.
Like I actually had to miss something because my grandma died. And then we're doing a live show, so I'm buying the thing. And I just remember Darren's character, like with the shades, talking about how he's like, if we get this TV deal, I'm gonna put that neon shit on the bottom of my car.
Yes.
Oh, so I loved that.
It was a
Darren,
good
like,
It's
pilot.
that
big-
neon shit. Yeah.
It's like
It
I'm
was
gonna
a
get
good
that shit in
pilot.
the under.
And what's Toby's daughter's name? Because she's the one who basically made it happen there, right?
Sarah.
Melissa?
Melissa.
Melissa? Okay.
Melissa. And so she made it happen, but you could just tell the fact that they gave us, I remember that executive, whatever his name was, gave me back the DVD that we had to deliver, or CD, whatever we ever delivered it on. And he said, you can take, it's yours. You guys can do whatever you want.
Wow, they did not like it.
Like they didn't even want to
Same
keep
day.
the
The
disc.
same day.
Wow.
The
Was it that
same day.
bad?
Like they watched it in the morning, they vomited, and then they called me in after they wiped the vomit off their mouth and said, "It's yours, baby." No, they said you can go. It's yours. We're totally it's reverting. I was like, I remember thinking like, is that a good thing? Like, is that good? Like,
Wow,
I
they
think-
didn't even
they
they didn't
did not
deliberate
like
they didn't have to deliberate at all. They just love it.
yeah, they love it so much they're giving it back to us. But I think
This
it was
is so
just,
good. We know you want to have it.
but yeah, it was. Look. I mean, I still think I love the idea of it being a narrative. I mean,
It's an
it's still-
interesting
I
idea.
actually think that would have been a really cool show. Although that was basically Michael and Michael Have Issues was kind of
Right.
like,
right.
very
Yeah.
you know.
I remember there was a period, and I think it was Trevor and I were the only ones that were really into this. We wanted it to be a narrative, but we also wanted the world to be magical, where we would pull sketches out of the oven and stuff.
Yes. Or you open up.
Do
I
like
remember someone
that.
saying you open up a cupboard and the sketch comes out.
Hey,
I love
how'd that
that
sketch
idea.
go? I don't know. It's in the cupboard. And then
Yeah.
open it
It's
and
like comes out of the toaster.
I did
Yeah.
not like that idea.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I think Zach
It's
was
so
the one who
fucking
killed that one for
stupid. I
sure.
loved it.
But yeah,
Exactly.
Oh,
No.
that's great.
I don't think you're wrong.
No, I
Yeah.
agree with myself.
Yeah.
And then Zach, you have I've told.
What
this
if I
story.
pulled up a Wikipedia that had medical charts that were like, "This is how Zach is wrong. It's called."
Wait, Jim, what were you going to ask me?
Sorry.
You had a job, or you had a friend. I think you did it. You would be hired to do these fake kidnappings.
Oh,
Yeah.
With Brock.
Yeah. My buddy started a kidnapping company.
Right, and it was an elaborate, like the game kind of thing, right? Where
Yeah.
I was a rich executive, and I'd hire you to
We would
scare the shit out of me.
we
Right?
would follow you for weeks and then figure out a good opportune time and then pull you into a van and basically beat the shit out of you for 48
And would
hours.
you actually beat the person up, or how would it
Yeah.
work?
We tattooed a person on their back. They didn't even know what we were tattooing on them.
And
Whoa!
What'd you
but
tattoo?
did they know that?
Basketball.
Did they allow? Did they give you like a list of things you could get away with? Like, how did you?
Well, they had a stop word. They had a stop word. So,
like pumpkin
so
or
they could
something.
end it whenever they wanted, but we would get it got pretty hardcore. We made someone shit their pants once. Yeah, it was fun.
Someone Whisper Whipper says in chat, then it was bought out by Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few people in chat were like, "What?" When Zach started explaining.
There's if anyone in chat is interested, there's an article in the New York Times. It was called "If Your Life Was a Movie." I think is the name of the article. But basically, if you Google Brock Enright, oh, there it is.
And someone says, too, you discussed it a lot on a Pete Holmes podcast, I guess.
I did talk about it on Pete's podcast.
I am still fascinated by that.
Whenever I think about that, I'm like, I still don't quite know how that happened or how it worked. You know?
Fun.
Yeah,
but you would be hired as
one
of the. You were hired like freelance as one of the team, right?
Well, I wasn't hired. I was just part of there was no like, I never got paid, you know, it was like my roommate.
That's what my next question.
Yeah. It was my roommate's company, my roommate Brock, he started it. And so I would just like do it with him, you know, I don't think anyone got paid from that, you know, even though they were very expensive, but all the money would just go into the job. You know what I mean?
That's not a good business.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun.
Look, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing the reality of it.
I'm beating the shit out of you
taking people off the street and punching them in the
stomach.
I
remember that you said at one point, like you'd rent a van and then you would like
in a hotel. We rented a house with like, we had to, and all the equipment and gear. I mean, it was very expensive.
And so then they'd be walking down the street after you had kind of cased them for weeks and then just literally kidnap them and throw them in the van and take them somewhere and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. So someone says this was just a hobby.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Here's the cool thing. My favorite torture technique. First of all, sleep deprivation is the most effective thing you can do. I would
imagine. Yeah.
That makes sense.
If you don't sleep for 48 hours, you start to just be miserable all the time. But the way we would do it, my favorite thing is we would
like the way you say it, like here's a tip.
Yeah, this is the first tip for torture. We would duct tape a basketball to their head really tightly. And what that does is it actually constricts over time, and it's really disorienting. You can't hear out of one ear, and your equilibrium is completely fucked. And so you're utterly miserable because it's hard on your neck and you're dizzy and you're nauseous. And then if they do something you don't like, you can kick the basketball, and then it's just like it's like totally.
Wow.
That was really.
You never did this to Tim.
Lobaka says, anyone else feeling like Barbarian makes a lot more sense now?
So when I saw Barbarian, which is excellent, I thought of that. I immediately thought
of the kidnapping stuff.
Yeah.
Was there any point, like the first time you were doing it, that you were like, wait, what if I've just been tricked into kidnapping someone?
Yeah, like they just told you.
Right, it's like, it's not that,
yeah.
And the fact is that the kidnappee is actually, it's all about, they're trying to punk Zach, not.
Yeah.
And just see how far they can push their roommate.
Yeah.
To abuse a human being.
Someone in chat says, so this is how Craig Robinson got into Miss March. It's a very elaborate torture process.
You're going along with the kidnapping and they're like, all right, here's the kidnapped person. And it's like, yeah, that's like a rich person's child. We're going to kidnap a rich person's child?
And they
signed up for this? Oh yeah, he's into this.
How would they get, like, how would your roommate average, like, how did they?
It was all word of mouth. Wow. We had a guy, one of my favorite jobs, we had a guy fly from England to be a client. And he was only in New York for a week. So we couldn't do our usual, like, follow you for a month and a half and take you away and all that stuff. We knew that, like, we had to kind of do his game like hyper accelerated. So usually what we do is we meet in a public place at a restaurant and you do like the consultation and and you sign in, you know, it's like a legal thing and you sign the thing and then we turn you loose and then you don't know when it's coming. But what we decided to do with him was we were going to get him the moment he finished his signature. So we basically, our friend managed a restaurant. We loaded the restaurant with all people we knew. And then we had like our dudes who were like basically all wearing football jerseys and ski masks hiding like in the kitchen. And so the moment he signed it, like 5 guys just in mass just came out and just tackled this dude right there in the restaurant. He had no idea this was coming. And he was terrified. And immediately, the moment they like put a bag over his head and like grabbed his arms, he said his stop word.
Whoa!
We have a break word, which is a pause, and a stop word, which is the game is over. So he signed it, got tackled, said the stop word within the span of 7 seconds.
Wow.
And it was,
So
and that was it. It was like,
just
you're
freaked
done.
him the fuck out.
Yeah, he was so scared, and he was like, "I came all the way from England. I'm not done." We're like, "You're done, dude. You said the word that you entered the game, and like that was it." He paid a lot of money.
Anyone ever get like a raging hard on the minute you started like?
I mean, definitely there were people where it was a sexual thing for sure.
Really? Wow.
Well, just the act of being stalked for some
Right.
people was like
Right.
was a sexual thing. So
and then
there-
and then having to be submissive and that kind of.
Wow.
What would happen if
Marcus said
like,
yes,
couldn't
usually
you-
Zach, as far as the motor question.
you couldn't reset there? Like
Memo to self about boner.
No, we were very, very clear about like you say this word to pause, and you get one pause where your like moderator will come and talk to you and tell you the truth, because everyone will lie to you once you sign in. Like it's all about like convincing you that you've made a horrible mistake and like it's bad. But if you get really scared,
you thought
what?
this was something you could control, but you're wrong.
Like exactly.
Wow.
And then,
that is mind fucking 101.
dude, it was so fun, man. It was such a good time. I had so many fun weird
sick fuck.
And so people keep the
sick fuck.
tape, right? When they paid further down with the service, they get the tape and they can like take it home. Be
that
like,
was like part of it, but I feel like Brock was like too lazy to actually like edit the tape together to anything cohesive and give it to them. So like some got tape, some didn't get.
Because I remember I saw a little bit of footage once you showed us, and it was like it looked like it was in a basement or something, and somebody, I think the client, whatever, was tied to a chair, and there's like a big dude in a mask, like whipping them or something.
That was probably the Mass Mocha. We did an abduction in conjunction with Mass Mocha, and so they gave us a house with a basement for free to use.
Wait, the Massachusetts Museum of Art?
Yeah.
Why would they? I don't. Why?
Because it was an art project. It was
and Brock
like
had
performance art.
He had like installations and stuff in some places, right? Too, like or performance-y stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like we kidnapped this dude and we like strung him up in the museum for a day, and people literally came in and were like, "Oh," and he was like tied to a wall.
Or with a raging boner.
It's really funny when you think about the kinds of shit at like the more experimental art museums, like the kinds of shit that you're okay with if it's like in there. It's like
this is fine. Brock did in Germany is like crazy, honestly. Like I actually can't even talk about it on stream, but like it was like weird stuff with galleries in Germany with like
look, I mean,
putting them
God
in
bless the Germans, but they literally invented shit porn.
Yeah,
I mean that's their when you go into a gas station on the highway in Germany, there is a whole like, the shit magazines are there, like, I'll I'll take Twix, pack of Marlboros, and what's this?
Scheisse.
And you just think like, what culture just goes, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't that be a category?
Yeah.
So it makes total sense. And then
I remember
go ahead.
From shooting that the porn genre that Jim thought was hilarious.
Oh,
Fart
what was it? Cake sitters? Oh no, Fart Hammer.
Fart Hammer.
Yeah.
Fart Hammer. I'll always remember Fart Hammer. God, I don't think it exists anymore.
I would not believe you. You're like,
wait, wasn't there a cake farters thing?
Yeah,
or
there was
no?
something like that too. Hey, I actually have to leave because I gotta go. It's 6 here, and I gotta go do something family. But I'm so fucking happy you showed up, Jim.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah.
I literally had taken a nap.
Well, because we were like, is he going to get on? And I said, he'll get on and he'll hang out. He'll fucking love it.
I'll hang out. I got nothing to do. I've already told all the. I'm supposed to be working on a budget for a show, and I just texted the guy as I logged in. I was like, I can't work tonight.
Hey Jim, can I give you an idea? Just make it up. Just make it up.
Make up
That's what you do
budget?
anyways, right?
I would totally make it up. Hey, how much is that going to cost? 10 million.
Money?
Probably a couple million. Really? Maybe not.
Do you ever notice that Jim says how much you got a lot?
My middle name. My middle name.
So guys, I had my pet lizard on at the very starting of Jim before he got here, and I didn't notice this, but he has been shedding, and it takes a long time. And I think the reason he started freaking out is his tail he just lost a little bit of his tail, like on the desk right here.
God.
Anyways, it's weird.
That's
man.
not creepy
Really
at
sad.
all.
Yeah.
Why is everyone putting 1 in the chat? What does 1 mean?
Thank you, Jim. Right?
Oh, they're saying thank you. Huh.
What?
What does 1 mean?
Oh, hey, can I read through the donos real quick before I go? Because some of them are Jim centric. Squirrel 723 donated $10 says, "Hey guys, as I type this, I'm on my way to the gym. By the time you read, I'll probably be working out. Well, listen, can you hype me up real quick while I exercise?"
Oh, you meant gym centric, like a workout gym.
Well,
Like a
yeah,
workout
but yeah.
gym.
Well, I didn't know, but there's other ones that do address gym. Okay.
Sorry, Jim.
Here's one. Sam
Well, wait,
Hamich.
but can I answer that one?
Oh yeah.
Stay hydrated.
Right. And your ass is looking great, buddy. Let's see. Sam Hamich 808 donated $50. Thank you. Holy shit. And says, "This
Thank
was
you.
legendary. I can't thank you guys and Jim enough. Love you guys." And here's the one I wanted to get to.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Hyphenpotamus in the City donated $10. Says, "Hey guys, I missed the last few. Glad I was free this time. I love the new lower thirds, especially Jim's changing one." I don't know what that means. Question for Jim. Do you guys know what that means? I love the new.
Yeah, it's stuff that Nate's doing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, good job, Nate.
Good job, Nate. Thank you.
Nate's been helping us out.
I wasn't watching the stream.
What does it say?
they
Chat,
have-
one's in chat to thank Nate.
Oh, that's cool. So they.
Oh,
it
I
says,
see. I see.
Question for Jim, if he's still here when you read this, what's your favorite sketch? Jim, I hate getting asked that question. How do you like getting asked that question?
I don't like that question at all.
I think they mean sketch from our show too. You're limited just our show.
What if I guess like probably SNL 77.
Lauren with the Beatles. Lauren with the Beatles check.
Lauren with the Beatles. Lauren Beatles always great. I don't care what you do. You can cut Ringo out.
1,000.
My favorite sketch.
Yeah, or like what's one that you like or that you think of? I guess that's what I try to do.
I don't know what. Couple things. And these are so random, but there's a real short sketch where I think it's Darren, Trevor, and Sam in a car, and you guys are getting high. And
the squirrel.
Always makes me laugh.
That's a good one.
It's in slow motion. Then the one is it called Ants?
Oh yeah, I like it.
Oh, where we have it. Yeah.
And you guys,
I do not get it.
You and Sam go past, and
it's based on something that happened
"Hi,
when
Mom.
I was
Hi,
married.
Susan. Where are you going? To the mall."
Yeah. Well, because basically it's like they're doing dumb shit their husbands don't want them to do and using the excuse that ants are carrying them there, right? That's what it was, right?
Yes, ants are carrying them. Ants made them do like charge on their credit card and stuff like that.
That's one that my daughter has seen because it's like
it's cute.
It's
and honestly, I think the just because it's meaningful in a weird way, that from the very first season, the IFC the Fuse season, the astronauts got the Trevor spilling the milk
mess.
Oh yeah,
I remember watching it in the edit and having that feeling of like, oh wow, this show is going to be so good.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks.
And it's even as stupid as that sketch is, but just everything, all the shit we were fighting against, just in terms of like, we had to shoot in that shitty studio and we didn't have a lot of money, and yet we somehow managed to like actually have something look great. And again, the best part of the sketch is Timmy's abused in it.
Am I? Well, just because I'm sitting there getting candy dumped on me. I mean, Trevor.
Milk,
I mean, we all
milk
kind of
on
right?
you.
I just
Who gets the
remember that
gallon
one,
of milk?
because that's one of a few times where I break character that I can notice myself.
Yeah, but we cut around it.
All that,
I really like that sketch. I really.
What do you guys gets the gallon like on the chest?
Darren does. Yeah.
That's Darren.
Does.
Well, Darren, when we did it live, fractured your arm or something once we did it live. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember hearing that story. But also, there's like the whole like, oh come on, like you guys look genuinely pissed off, which is great.
And we're continually surprised that he keeps doing the same fucking.
Yeah. It's just such a goofy. It's so goofy, but I remember watching it thinking like, oh wow, this is gonna be fantastic because it's smart and stupid all at the same time, and also just the weirdest angle. It's just that one fucking angle, and we built that. Crazy...
That was a war. Remember, they really wanted us to cut to the side view.
Yeah.
And it was like, why? And they're like, you have to. It was like, why? It's
great that way.
But there's so many really fucking hilarious sketches, but they just kind of flip up in my mind.
The astronaut one stands out.
I remember, Jim, this great moment with you when we were shooting season 2 and the first like rough cut of dailies that we got back, or the rough edit that we got back, was fart dinner.
Fart
And you
dinner,
had it on
yeah.
your phone, and we were like watching it behind the scenes, and like
Yes.
we were just buckled over,
Dying.
crying,
Fart dinner
laughing so
rules.
hard.
It really does.
Yeah.
And you talk about like
That was such a great. I remember that moment. You mean
that's like to me like good like remembering Trevor like that's one of my favorite remembering Trevor sketches. You know, just that's fucking who he
that
was.
season has a lot of great things in it because also it was like, I guess this was all material that you had amassed at that point, right? Like you were still working through stage stuff, right?
Yeah, well, in
Yeah.
season 2, I had more written for the show. I think I remember when we found out we'd be uncensored. The first thing I went back and wrote was the blue whale dickhead one. We were like, oh, we can do whatever we want. Let's have a giant penis on a face.
Because all of the stuff we shot in that studio felt very stage
Right
centric.
Yeah.
I mean, but it I don't know, and just watching you guys kind of creatively grow, you know, on the one hand was frustrating because it was like, we don't have the money to do this. And then second, but also just like, we don't have the time. But you guys always kind of figured it out. And we would always sit back and be amazed. Like every season, it would just get bigger and bigger, but also funnier and funnier. And I really kind of felt like it wasn't until, I think we did the live show at end of season 2. Or maybe it was season 3.
Yeah,
because we had run out of material.
Well, and the writer's strike was involved somehow too.
Something was going on. I can't remember, but so we did it at down the Borough of Manhattan College down on Chambers Street.
Yep.
And I was amazed at the size of the crowd. Like I remember, like thinking no one's going to show up, and it was a big theater, and we filled it out. But also, the crowd went around, like the tickets went around, the buyers went around the block. And I remember walking down the line, trying to pick like photogenic people put in the front row just in case.
Yeah, no uggos. Yeah. I kept saying that night. You guys, like, we got too many uggos, guys. We got to do
uggos.
Yeah, you couldn't find you were like, guys, you have ugly fans. And we're like, Jim, come on.
He's like, we're gonna have to hire some hot people to sit up for us.
And I remember this one couple, maybe they were 18, and they said, and he's just gonna zits all over his face, and he says, Mr. Blinderman, like he just stops me as I'm walking down. And I go, and I'm just annoyed at that point. I was like, yeah, what? And he's like, can we take a picture with you? And it was like him and his girlfriend, and we take a picture. And I remember I never saw the picture, but I just remember my face being like, they're just like, I was like, fuck. But I was so I remember walking I was like, they were like, thank you. I was like, yeah, whatever. And I keep walking. And I just stopped and went, you know what? They should be in the front row. So I just walked back. And I was like, come on.
Oh, that's great.
And so that's why we have ugly people in the front row. No, but
I gotta go, Jim. But I want to leave a quick conversation cue for you guys after I leave. Cat Congress and
oh my god.
All right.
Bye, guys.
I gotta go too.
All right.
I think we should
late there.
Yeah.
Jim, I got one thing to show you guys. One thing to show you guys before we go. Here, I'll do it right here.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Awesome.
That was a prototype. That was a prototype.
Yeah.
God, this is a very nice thing. Darren, I miss you.
I miss you too, baby.
How are you? When are you coming? Are you going to move back or are you staying in?
What's up?
Are you going to move back to the United States or are you going to stay there?
I don't know. I really like it here.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
What part of town are you in?
I'm in North London. So
Nice.
like Highbury and Islington.
Fancy pants.
Yeah.
All right.
Fancy.
All right.
Well, guys.
Jim, it's great to see you, buddy. Thanks for hopping on.
This was so fun.
So much. Really appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye, chat. Thanks, everyone.
I guess I'll find someone to raid. It's my show now. Ha 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 ha. Thanks so much for coming out, guys. Tomorrow, 6 Pacific time, we got Trailer Boys. I think the topic is creature features. So monster stuff. Strata, I'm not gonna show you my butt. It ain't happening. Nah, brah. I ain't going out like that. So yeah, thanks. We'll try and do these more regularly and get back into the rhythm of doing these. This was so fun. Let me see about rating people.
You didn't finish donos.
Oh, we didn't finish donos. Okay. Blame Timmy on that one.
People want Jim to come
yeah,
back.
That's another thing I want to say too is sorry about Timmy. You know, sorry. He was in the show. What can we do, right? How's it going, Nate?
Good. Trailer Boys tomorrow night. It will be me and Sam, unsure about Zach and Timmy.
Again, sorry about Timmy. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. You look for donos.
All right. Hold on. Sam, do you ever think about Gramps? All the time. All right, recent events. Here we go. Every time I go to do the dono thing, I have to use some of that brain power to remember what site I have to open stuff. Crisco donated $25 and said, haven't been able to catch one of these in months. So glad I caught one with Biederman. Here's some money to pay for his stories. Oh, and Mars too, I guess. Colby, like the cheese, says, I have 45-minute drive to work. Been watching nothing but these streams to and from for over 2 years now. Thanks for the good company. You're welcome, Colby, like the cheese. And then that was 50, and then another $5 to say, P.S. Hi, Jim. And any Mars updates? We're almost done. We should be hearing that sound mix any day now, and then it's done. We still we don't have a release plan, but we're getting that figured out. And yeah. Sam, have you heard the Music League playlist yet? I have heard the Music League playlist. Some of those deep cuts on Deep Cut. Oh, one thing I want to throw out there. If anyone in chat wants to be Peloton friends with me, my name on Peloton is, I think it's Team Jacob 2009. Feel free to follow me there. Let me see. Oh wait, here it is. Team Jacob 2009. So yeah, bit of painting of Trevor in the background. The picture, not like a painting.
Was that all the donos?
I think so.
Do you want to raid the CEO of Twitch?
Sure. What's the CEO of Twitch's name?
DJ Clancy. DJ Clancy.
All right. This is apparently our boss.
Yeah, so be nice. Tell him that the whitest kid should be on the front page or something.
Yeah. DJ Clancy, right?
Yeah, Clancy.
All right, guys. I'll see some of you tomorrow, hopefully. All right. Rating the CEO of Twitch? Really? Wow. All right. Thanks for coming out to the show. That was a really fun one. Have a good weekend.